Thanks, sir. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Shelby-Cleveland County Airport. I go ahead and admit that I have a better view for today. Sorry, don't look at me, but I'll enjoy those mountains out there. Looking forward to a productive day. Going through some sort of a recap of the last year, hearing from the mayor on some of the things that we've accomplished, and then brainstorming some ideas for moving forward and prioritizing some new goals for the coming year. Want to just kind of go over a few things. So some housekeeping things first. I think you all found the food and coffee in the kitchen there. There is some soda in the fridge, and there's an ice machine in there. So as we move through the day, if you want to grab some snacks and drinks, there's those in there. There's a bowl of crackers back here as well. Restrooms are right out this door to the left. You can also take the elevator down. There's another set of restrooms down there. Some water in the fridge as well. I think that's about it in terms of those type things. But just wanted to kind of go through some of the thoughts and some of the sort of ground rules for today. So got a lot to talk about. Got a lot of brainstorming that we want to do, and this is meant to be just kind of a sort of a creative day. So as you have an idea or you have a thought, throw it out. We'll be brainstorming later, and I'll have a blank sheet up here where we can write all those thoughts down, and we'll kind of move to the window in the second half of the morning. We're going to kind of put some of the ideas over the window and prioritize those things after lunch. If we get into a topic and there's an idea or a thought that you have, it's not really relevant, but it still kind of comes to your mind, you can still shout it out. I'll put it over here in the parking lot. We'll park the idea for a little while. If we're coming back to it later, we'll come back to it. If not, we'll bring it back to you at the next council meeting or sometime in the future. In terms of the brainstorming process, I've outlined a few sort of ground rules for brainstorming up here. I won't read through all of them. Some of them are fairly self-explanatory, but just as we go through those things, make sure that you all are testing your assumptions and inferences. So if somebody brings up an idea and you're kind of unsure what they mean, feel free to ask questions and talk about the different things that makes you think about. So if you do bring up something, explain your reasoning, explain your intent, use specific examples when we're talking through some of those ideas. We want to be able to jointly design next steps and ways to test disagreements. So I'm sure there's going to be things that are going to come up that we're not going to agree on, but we want to find a joint way forward. And I've watched you all over the last 2 years. I think y'all do that well. So I think we're in a good place with these. We just wanted to kind of put them up there as a reminder. It's also a time to sort of discuss undiscussable ideas, so things that we don't normally get a chance to talk about in a regular council meeting. Tommy pretty much says what he thinks, so I don't know if there are any undiscussable ideas for him. But no, just if there's any thoughts you have, this is the kind of space to bring it up and for us to talk about it and really flesh it out. So yeah, I'll leave those up. When we start brainstorming later, I'll stick them up on the wall somewhere. But just wanted to have those as kind of a reminder as we talk through things. Another point I want to make as we brainstorm through some of those ideas is I'm going to try and have my facilitator hat and my town manager hat. So the facilitator hat is the person that's here to help you all come up with the goals and brainstorm and move through those ideas and objectives throughout the day. If I need to take that off and put on my town manager hat and we talk about some of the more specifics of it that I might get into as a staff member versus a facilitator, absolutely going to do that, but I'm going to try to kind of keep those two separate so that there's one person helping you all build consensus and goals, and there's the other that's the staff member that might be sitting back there. I might call on some of those folks too. Let's see, what else we got? As we do brainstorm, the last thing on those sort of ideas, which I'll recap when we start that section later, is we're not talking about money or really even down into the details today. It's just high-level ideas. We'll have budget retreats that'll cover the money aspect of it, and then after lunch we'll actually develop more specifics for some of those ideas. So the brainstorming session will just be kind of broad, and we'll drill down on those later. So the facilitator person is going to make sure we don't get down into the weeds and can discuss all the things that we need to get done today. The other thing I want to cover is back here on this table. So I normally keep a box of this kind of stuff in the office, and during staff meetings and other things, we try to do some little recognitions. So this is the recognition table. So if at some point throughout the day someone has a good idea or makes a really good suggestion, or if there's something else that has reminded you of something that somebody's done, the little card back here kind of walks you through it, but the intent is to come back here and pick something off the table and then go through how you want to acknowledge the person that had the idea or made you think of that thought, what you want to acknowledge them for, why that was productive or helpful, and then what you want to give them that kind of ties that together. So if somebody had an idea that was tops, there's a little top there, you could recognize them for that, and it's just a little way to show some appreciation for thoughts and ideas and the discussion we have throughout the day. So that's back there.
Where's the bad idea table?
That's right.
Downstairs.
That's right here.
Yeah, you can. Now this is for if the discussion gets heated, things get stressful.
You see Daniel over
We've
there.
got that. So I think I've got all of that covered. Any questions on the ground rules or the process or anything as we go through today?
I'm a little disappointed you don't have a physical hat for town manager. Switch back and forth.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in him.
I know he does. I know he has.
A top hat and a
Right.
baseball hat, yeah. So I just to kind of recap, I don't know if I kind of specifically went through it, but the idea for today is to recap some of the things that we've accomplished this last year, to talk about some of the things that are still lingering out there, brainstorm new ideas, and then develop some specific objectives to go along with those ideas. We'll prioritize somewhere in there, and then we'll have those objectives established, and then we'll have a new strategic plan for the coming year. So, with that, Mayor Thomas?
All right. Will you come right
Yeah,
there?
you come up here. I'll move this over for you.
We need to make a little placard that we can put over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can leave it, please.
Oh, wait a minute, I had a slide for that. Yeah, that's what we're doing today. All right, now it's. Does that need to move closer? You think it's good? Okay.
Well, before you hit record, the audience for this is the people who are going to watch it. So that's the voice I'm using. But one of the things I had intended to do last week, and then chickened out, was going to the school board meeting to try to encourage them to figure out ways to be, I don't know what words I was going to use, but what made me realize is how healthy our situation is. And you all really do the things that I wrote about. It's not just fluff when I talk about it. And so, I mean, council is it's just an amazing opportunity to work with you all and the way that you go about the business, even when we disagree. And we should disagree sometimes. It shouldn't be a unanimous opinion all the time. And to the staff, I don't say your name enough in here because it would just get a little cumbersome to say the name over and over. But I mean, in 6 years, 7 years that I've been a part of this whole thing, it's just an honor. It really is to work with you and the amazing job that you do, where we don't really have to worry about very many details at all because those things are always taken care of. So anyway, that was just a way to shake out some of my nerves. All right, ready? Okay. When I think about the state of the town of Boiling Springs, I can't help but think back to the snaggletooth boy catching crawdads at the spring. I'm sure many of you remember how it was framed by the white lattice gazebo for all those years. I think about that boy who grew up quite literally on the campus of Gardner-Webb, riding bikes and getting to know the students and even more the amazing faculty and staff that have graced that institution through the years. That little blonde-headed kid smiling while getting a cherry red soda from Miss Virginia at the drugstore or drinking some of Amos's lemonade, and I shouldn't leave out that honey mustard from Uptown Cafe or chicken biscuits from Mutt's, or the blizzards at Dairy Queen when they used to hand them to you upside down. Liver mush pizza. I guess I could go on and on. In thinking about the state of this town, the only place to begin is with gratitude. Gratitude to all of the amazing people, past and present, who have made this community, the town of Boiling Springs, a place I am so proud to have been able to call home for all of my life. I've seen the many changes to our town, and I also recognize the many things that have remained steady and constant. As a town resident and student at our schools and college, I can honestly say that nothing has shaped me more than you all. And I am overflowing with thanksgiving to be able to serve as mayor. What a dream. There are 3 areas for which we want to provide you with specific information and general direction. But first, I want to pause and say a few words about our town council. Council members Marty Thomas, Patrick Litton, Tommy Green, Caleb Edwards, and Tanya Gant are so very talented and make up a dedicated council. This council engages in serious and careful debate with the aim of working towards consensus for what will be the best for the town of Boiling Springs. They each bring their own skills and expertise, which have melded together to produce great working results. It is an absolute pleasure to work alongside these fine men and women. And our tremendous staff, led by Town Manager Justin Longino, do amazing work each day with excellence and professionalism. We are blessed indeed to have such a dedicated group of public servants working for our town. The first area to discuss is infrastructure. This component isn't the most visible, but it is arguably the most important aspect of town government. I am proud to report that our water and sewer system is in fantastic shape. Our system has been updated through the years, and the overwhelming majority of our pipes, over 80%, have been replaced with modern PVC. In comparison to other towns our size, we are way ahead of the mark. And with the small increases in fees and the sizable grant we received to study our wastewater system, the town will be able to continue to provide the community with high-quality water and sewer services in the context of a positive operating budget. I've mentioned our staff already, but when you see the guys who on rare occasions are out all night repairing a leak or a similar situation, please give them a big old thank you. Extending the sewer system to residents and neighborhoods has been a difficult puzzle to solve, but with the direction of town council and the great work of the staff, we have worked up a proposal that would lay the groundwork for just that possibility. Our goal is to provide the best possible services for our residents while also preparing for future growth. Other aspects of our infrastructure improvements include offering Wi-Fi in the downtown corridor and a new EV charging station that we received through grant funding. Furthermore, the town has been active in addressing the traffic issues we face as we continue to grow as a community. Our staff worked diligently to secure a grant that will allow us to study how our streets can be safer. And we are looking at measures to slow traffic approaching Hillcrest from East College and are actually in talks with DOT to repave East College entirely while addressing some of the other problem areas such as Patrick Avenue. Crosswalks have been installed with good lighting, and our fine police officers continue to utilize new tools to identify problem areas and to mitigate speeding. The second area of attention deals with business recruitment. I first want to thank the owners of our existing places of business for the great services and products and culture you bring to our town. It was interesting to find as we were working on a grant just how many of our businesses are owned by women. But to all of you, our sincere thanks for all you do. Our goal is to provide an environment that will attract and sustain locally owned businesses that offer good jobs for our residents and help our local business culture and economy thrive. While the town cannot pick and choose the businesses that start up in the free market, we do have a desire to create a welcoming atmosphere for quality businesses. One major way that is happening is through our downtown master plan and the coming renovation of our streetscape, starting with South Main Street. The improvements planned will not only provide an aesthetic upgrade, making the town more attractive, but will also provide spaces for us to gather together, which of course will increase foot traffic for our local establishments. We have entered into a partnership to develop recruiting strategies for new businesses and are actively seeking ways that we can utilize old buildings, such as the old town hall, as well as exploring the possibility of new structures downtown at the new town hall that would offer space for flourishing local business owners. Council and staff have worked hard to update our town ordinances to create a uniformity of appearance in the downtown corridor, and beverage measures have been approved by the voters that will help facilitate the opening of new businesses. The final area to discuss this morning is what I have called community connectivity. First, it's obvious that these 3 areas, infrastructure, a strong business environment, and community connectivity, are interrelated. Each area is dependent on and builds off of the others. A strong desire of town council has been to help facilitate ways to bring the folks in this town together. We have so many great partners that help us achieve this goal. The Broad River Greenway, protectors of one of the most beautiful resources in this area, do so much good work providing opportunities for trail races, a variety of events for kids, and have been vital to our production of concerts. The Ruby Y sets aside times for town residents to enjoy the pool facility. They provide so many sports activities for our kids and manage the turkey trot, among so many other events. I've had the pleasure of working closely with the Earl Scruggs Center recently in order to create stronger ties to our shared music culture and in support of the various community services they provide. And of course, Gardner Webb and Boiling Springs have worked together since the beginning. We are so excited to offer the second annual Webstock Street Festival on April 22nd. And building off of that success from last year, cold success, but still, building on that, the town is offering our Music on Main concert series beginning March 30th, just a few weeks away. Our Christmas tree lighting ceremony will continue each year, and we will look for fun ways to grow that event. The community garden will begin its second season very soon, and the town continues to explore a parks master plan that will offer great ways for us to enjoy our beautiful outdoors together. Of course, our town council knows full well that the strength lies in you, in our people. To that end, they are highly responsive and eager to listen to your voice as we work together to shape the best town in America. I like to think that little boy and all his friends who grew up here, who have been supported by so many, who have celebrated and grieved and experienced the blessing of life together in this town. I like to think that from the decades past, he looks on with approval and appreciation, with a nod of thankfulness and understanding of just how richly blessed he was to have grown alongside you in Boiling Springs, North Carolina. I am so proud of the many wonderful things our town council has accomplished and the vision they offer. I am impressed each day with the diligent efforts of our town manager and the entirety of our town staff at not just maintaining, but working to improve the services and substance of our town. In the end, though, what makes me realize the strength and durability of the state of our town is the fact that now that I have kids of my own, there isn't a place in the world I'd rather raise them than here with you, in Boiling Springs. One town, one university, one community. Thank you, and may God's blessings rest on you.